You're not ready for this. In a world where NBA legends are born under the spotlight, where names like Magic, Kareem, and LeBron are etched into the walls of greatness before they ever step foot on the hardwood, one player, just one, managed to write his own story from the shadows. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. And according to a former NBA All-Star, that player is none other than Kobe Bryant. But here's the twist. It's not just about championships. Not just about stats, accolades, or highlight reels. It's something deeper. Something that millions of people across the globe chase every single day. It's the American dream. Three-time All-Star Gilbert Arenas made a bold claim, one that's now sparking debate across the basketball world. In his words, Kobe Bryant is the only Laker who truly embodied the American dream. Wait, what? Think about that. Not Magic Johnson, the hometown hero. Not Shaquille O'Neal, the dominant force. Not even LeBron James, the chosen one. No, Kobe. Let's break it down. Kobe wasn't the number one pick. He wasn't the face of a franchise from the moment he entered the league. He wasn't even born into the traditional American system most stars come through. In fact, when he was just 6 years old, he moved with his family to Italy, where his father, Joe "Jelly Bean" Bryant, continued his pro basketball career. While other future NBA greats were building reputations on American courts and AAU circuits, Kobe was overseas, speaking Italian and absorbing the game from a whole different lens. By the time he returned to the U.S. at age 13, he was a quiet teenager with a foreign swagger and an unshakable drive. And at just 17 years old, he entered the 1996 NBA draft, raw, unknown to most fans, and skipped over by 12 teams before being selected 13th overall. A draft night trade orchestrated by Lakers legend-turned-GM Jerry West would send Kobe to L.A., where he'd team up with another new addition, a 24-year-old Shaquille O'Neal. From that moment on, the world expected Shaq to dominate. He was the centerpiece, the superstar. And Kobe, just a kid, a sidekick. But here's where it gets interesting. Gilbert Arenas explains it like this. You want to call him 1B behind Shaq, but this man right here, he's the real American hero. He's what everybody wants to be. Why? Because he wasn't handed anything. Unlike LeBron, Magic, or Shaq, guys who came in as number one overall picks with instant expectations and opportunities, Kobe had to fight for everything. No shortcuts. No red carpet. Just work. And more work. That's why Arenas compares Kobe to someone outside the basketball world, NFL legend Tom Brady. Brady was drafted 199th overall in the 2000 NFL Draft. He wasn't supposed to become a star. He wasn't supposed to become the guy. But he did. Because he earned it. That's the same path Kobe walked. When he entered the NBA, there were doubts. Could a high school kid from Italy survive in the league? Could he coexist with Shaq? Could he lead a team? Well, history gave us the answers. Kobe Bryant became an 18-time All-Star, a 5-time NBA champion, a 2-time Finals MVP, the 2008 League MVP, a 15-time All-NBA selection, a 12-time All-Defensive Player. He led the Lakers to 7 Finals appearances. He scored 81 points in a single game. He dropped 60 in his final game. He inspired an entire generation with his legendary Mamba mentality. But Arenas is saying this goes beyond the numbers. He's saying Kobe's story represents something bigger. A universal truth, that greatness isn't something you inherit. It's something you earn. When you come from another country trying to chase the American dream, you're not LeBron. You're not Magic. You're not Shaq, Arenas said. You don't get handed the keys. Kobe had to earn his. And he's the only one who truly did. That's why Arenas calls Kobe the only true embodiment of the dream so many chase, because his journey was not preordained. It was built, step by painful step. Born in Philadelphia, raised in Italy, doubted as a rookie, booed in his early playoff runs, and yet he rose. Not because someone gave him the crown, but because he took it. And that, right there, is what the American dream is all about. So while fans may argue over who the greatest Laker of all time is, Gilbert Arenas draws a line in the sand. In his eyes, Only one Laker lived the journey that mirrors the dream of millions. Kobe Bryant. The man who didn't just play the game. He conquered it. You're not gonna believe what's been going on behind the scenes. We all know LeBron James as the face of the NBA. A 4-time champion. A 20-time All-Star. One of the most iconic players the game has ever seen. And now, at 40 years old, he's still chasing greatness, still hungry for one last title run before walking away from the game. But here's where it gets wild. LeBron James reportedly wanted to leave the Lakers and join the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, you heard that right. According to sources close to the league, LeBron had serious interest in heading to Dallas, where he would have reunited with his old running mate Kyrie Irving and, possibly down the road, teamed up with young phenom Cooper Flagg. It sounds like a fantasy. But for a moment, it almost became a reality. Let's take it from the top. LeBron opted into the final year of his contract with the Los Angeles Lakers this offseason. A $52 million decision. On paper, it looked like a sign of commitment, a clear message that he was staying in LA to finish what he started. But then, everything changed. His agent, Rich Paul, released a statement that turned the league upside down. He made it crystal clear, LeBron doesn't just want to finish his career quietly. He wants to compete. He wants to win. He wants to go out on top. And then came the twist. Paul acknowledged that the Lakers are shifting focus. They're not building around LeBron anymore. Instead, the franchise is looking toward the future, and specifically, toward Luka Doncic. Yes, Luka Doncic. Now, let that sink in. The Lakers are reportedly exploring ways to build their next championship team around a new face, a new timeline, and LeBron James no longer fits that puzzle perfectly. And that's when everything exploded. The moment that statement went public, the NBA rumor mill caught fire. LeBron was suddenly linked to multiple teams, every playoff contender, every finals hopeful. But there was one team that stood out above all the rest. The Dallas Mavericks. Why? Because of Kyrie Irving. LeBron and Kyrie made magic together in Cleveland. A historic 3-1 comeback in the 2016 finals. That kind of chemistry doesn't just disappear. And in Dallas, Kyrie is waiting, ready, healthy, and motivated. Add to that the possibility of future talent like Cooper Flagg, and you've got a serious destination. According to NBA insider John Hollinger of The Athletic, this wasn't just random gossip. Hollinger reported that during the Las Vegas Summer League, talk of LeBron wanting to go to Dallas was everywhere. Here's what he wrote. The whispers about LeBron having eyes for Dallas, where he could have teamed up with Kyrie and Cooper Flagg, before opting into his deal were hard to ignore. But then reality hit. As much as LeBron may have wanted to explore his options, the numbers just didn't work. He wasn't going to leave $52 million on the table. And the Mavericks, already tight against the salary cap, couldn't offer anything close to that. Not even the non-taxpayer mid-level exception would have come close. A buyout. Highly unlikely. A trade. Almost impossible, thanks to the modern NBA's new collective bargaining agreement, which puts strict limits on salary movement, especially for teams near or above the second tax apron. That's the Mavericks. And that's also the Lakers. The financial gymnastics it would take to make this deal happen are staggering. Matching LeBron's contract? That alone is a puzzle. But then there's the added layer of timing, assets, and luxury tax penalties. It's messy. It's complicated. And right now, it's just not realistic. So where does that leave LeBron? Still in Los Angeles, for now. But don't get comfortable. Because according to Hollinger, the Lakers may be planning a big move of their own. Once LeBron's deal expires next summer, they'll have max cap space. And due to a favorable cap hold on Austin Reeves, they're in a position to go hunting for the next big star. That's great for the Lakers. But what about LeBron? If the team struggles this season, if they fall out of the race in the Western Conference, then what? Would it make sense for the Lakers to cash in on LeBron before the trade deadline? Think about it. He's still one of the most valuable names in the league. He still moves the needle. But with a no-trade clause in his contract, LeBron controls his fate. He can pick his next destination. He can write his own final chapter. And here's the twist. Free agency doesn't hold the same power it used to. The real moves now happen at the trade deadline. Quiet talks. Strategic negotiations. Power plays behind the curtain. So what happens if the Lakers disappoint? What if the dream of one last title in LA starts slipping away? Will LeBron take control and make a move? Will the Mavericks come calling again? Will we see the King join forces with Kyrie one more time? Right now, LeBron's still in LA. But don't be fooled. In the NBA, everything can change in a heartbeat. One phone call. One bad stretch of games. One opportunity to rewrite the ending. So keep your eyes open. Because when it comes to LeBron James, the story is never over. The Los Angeles Lakers just sent shockwaves across the league. And no, this isn't the end of their off-season fireworks. After a flurry of aggressive roster moves, including the bold acquisition of Marcus Smart, the 2022 Defensive Player of the Year, there's an undeniable sense in the air. The Lakers are not here to play it safe. They're hunting for another title. Period. Let's start with Marcus Smart. Known for his gritty defense, on-court leadership, and unmatched tenacity, Smart instantly brings heart and hustle to a team looking to get back to championship form. His experience and fire are exactly what this Lakers squad needs, but here's where things get even more intriguing. Because league insiders are now whispering something that could shake the Western Conference to its core, a blockbuster reunion might be in the works. Sources have confirmed that the Lakers have opened up a roster spot, and that move wasn't random. It was calculated, strategic, deliberate. It's a move that paves the way for another veteran presence to return, and the name lighting up the rumor mill is none other than Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Yes, that KCP. The sharpshooter. The defensive anchor. The champion. The same KCP who helped LeBron James and the Lakers secure the 2020 NBA title in the Orlando bubble. The same KCP whose perimeter defense and three-point shooting made him a cornerstone in that championship run. And now, just when it seemed like his time in LA was part of the past, fate might be calling him back to the bright lights of Hollywood. According to Brett Siegel of Clutch Points, the Lakers have been actively involved in conversations with both the Memphis Grizzlies and Minnesota Timberwolves. While Minnesota reportedly declined to engage in trade talks involving Donte DiVincenzo, talks surrounding Caldwell-Pope gained traction, especially after he was part of the multi-team trade that sent Desmond Bane to the Orlando Magic. That trade landed KCP in Memphis, his sixth NBA team, but rumors suggest his time there might be short-lived. He's entering the second year of a 3-year, $66 million contract originally signed with the Magic, and with the Grizzlies roster already stacked with backcourt talent, Caldwell-Pope could be on the move again, this time back to LA. And Lakers fans? They're ready for it. During his 4 seasons in Los Angeles, KCP averaged 11.1 points, 3.2 rebounds, 1.7 assists, and 1 steal per game, with excellent shooting splits of 43.6% from the field and nearly 38% from beyond the arc. He consistently stepped up in high-pressure moments, particularly in the playoffs, where his defense often turned the tide of games. He wasn't just a role player, he was a difference-maker. And that's exactly what the Lakers need right now. With LeBron James still defying time at 40 years old, the team must surround him with the right pieces to make one last championship push. After all, no one knows how much longer the King will rule the court. Bringing KCP back isn't just about nostalgia, it's about strategy. The Lakers learned a hard lesson in 2021 when they traded away Caldwell-Pope, Kyle Kuzma, and Montrezl Harrell to acquire Russell Westbrook. That move disrupted their chemistry and resulted in a 2-year experiment that never truly worked. Reuniting with KCP would be more than just repairing old wounds. It would be an active step toward righting a wrong and reinforcing the team's core identity: defense, shooting, and veteran poise. Let's not forget, KCP is a proven winner who still has plenty in the tank. He's just 32 years old, and while he may not guard 5 positions, he's more than capable of locking down the 1 to 3 spots with relentless effort and discipline. In today's positionless NBA, a player with his skill set and championship DNA is exactly what you want next to LeBron James and Marcus Smart. So what's next? Insiders believe the Lakers are not done making moves, not by a long shot. The front office, under general manager Rob Pelinka, seems committed to building a balanced, battle-tested team that can go toe-to-toe with the league's elite, including the defending champions and powerhouse squads like those led by Nikola Jokic or Luka Doncic. The Western Conference is loaded. Every night is a war. And if the Lakers want to compete, they need soldiers who've been to battle and come out holding the trophy. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope fits that mold. As rumors continue to swirl, all eyes are on LA. Could a reunion really happen? Could KCP be the final piece in the Lakers' puzzle, the missing link that helps LeBron raise one last banner in the rafters of Crypto.com arena? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the Lakers are cooking up something big, and if they manage to bring KCP home, it might just be the move that puts the rest of the NBA on high alert. Stay tuned, Laker Nation. The story isn't over. In fact, it might just be getting started.